Does he have? Oh, the Shy, the daily solo kill. I love it. Eating good today. T1 lost. The Shy is getting shit on by Wayward. All right, boys, let's get into it. T1 versus KT, the lover episode. Nah, I'm still hating, bro. I'm just hating. I have a different angle to hate. So the weekly hate, I did a segment actually on Power Spike, and the weekly hate was actually directed at the all-pro team selection, MVP selection, and coach of the split selection in the LCK. So I was actually kind of hating on KT this week preemptively. So I can always find something to hate. That's something that's unique to me. That's what makes me, you know, like, that's why I make the big bucks. I can find the hate angle regardless. But KT, man, there's no way they were one game up on Genji. They even went 1-1 versus Genji over the course of the season. There's no way they have the 5 best players, the coach, and the best player in the league. Like, come on, bro. Come on. It's just too much. It's too far. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, we already know the result. I won't spoil it if you're watching here for the first time, but it's a little bit it's a little bit rough to have that be what you're going into a series with, because theoretically, even if the series is close, then it still doesn't justify your rankings. Like, you would need to absolutely fucking smash them to justify that level of just dominance across all the awards. All right, one thing that's been specific to the LCK has been VI bans. Aatrox makes sense. Zeus popped off with lethality Aatrox in the previous series versus Dom1, so that makes sense. I want to see what the VI prio is. So what's up? Tristana up, Jace up, Maokai up, Rel up. These are like the power picks right now. LeBlanc is up. Take away Gumazaya. Kaisa is up. It looks like everything is going to be traded here. It's going to be just insane power drafts traded. And Kaisa. Okay. So Tristana is... So here's the thing that you're doing here. So when you go for this type of draft, what you're putting pressure on KT for is that if they draft any one pick, let's say they draft Jace, then you go Maokai Trist. If they take Trist, then you go Maokai Jace. If they go Maokai, then you can even go Trist Jace on your own team. So you have angles to even up the draft from this point. So that's the reasoning behind leaving everything up like this. So Tristana first pick. Okay, that makes sense. So T1 can get Maokai Jace. They end up going Sejuani Jax. Whoa. Sejuani Jax. See, I don't like this because they already have Trist and now Rumble's up. And they can go Trist Rumble, and then they have like good lane and good damage spread amongst their team. So I'm not a fan of going this 1-2 with these champions available. Maybe they have a read that Keen doesn't play Rumble or something. I end up going Zeri. I think Zeri is not that good. I'm kind of a Zeri hater. I prefer things like Varus over it in these types of spots. Maybe it's not as good into Jax Sejuani, the Varus isn't, but then like Ezreal. I just think Zeri is not great. Then Rakan taken by T1. That makes sense. So here you can flex the Rel into jungle and pick Milio into the Rakan. Pretty good answer. You have that option. You also have the option of just picking Nautilus if you want something that's more like just direct lane counter. All right, he's hovering the Nautilus. He ends up going Nautilus. Okay. And those are normally what you're choosing between there. Gragas top is more to neutralize the Jax than like get super far ahead of it. Last pick Sivir. Okay. I mean, Gragas is fine in the lane versus Jax. But if Sejuani hovers the Jax, then Jax is able to crash the third wave a lot easier. Doesn't have to worry about potentially getting ganked. That's huge.
Level 3. That's one way to get it.
Level 3. Oh, Faker.
Shifting sands to get himself the shield.
Is that worth it? I mean, I guess that's pretty much worth it. I mean, you use your E. You take 2 extra autos. You deny the full bomb proc. I mean, considering that you end up with your E down, it's probably not worth in that specific circumstance. Hey, Zeus just tried to proxy. Keen is farming under turret. He can't go for this. Cuz is flashing. Okay. I mean, he doesn't have much damage here. He needs somebody to rotate. Okay, now the Gragas should be moving now, I think. I think the Gragas should have moved. They just didn't know, I guess. Wait, did they not see Sedge out of the bush here? I thought they saw Sedge out of the bush. Yeah, wait, they see Sedge. And then BDD just tries this. That's not good. Just flash W'd and... Okay. Keen could maybe get him. E-flash. Maybe not. They want to keep him under this turret. Faker can't TP. Faker has no mana. He can't TP here. They're probably just fucked.
Get into it in a moment. It's not over yet. All right, Keen, let's see whether you can lock this one down. There's first blood. Owner now underneath the turret.
Well, that's like game losing. Bro, proxying this wave is like so unnecessary. I mean, the reason he wants to proxy that wave is because it gives him like better base. Because, I mean, there he would only be able to base for like a longsword essentially. But you know that the Rel jungle is most likely pathing top. Most Rels are like starting Raptors these days as well. So it just becomes like one of those things where there's so much risk involved with proxying the wave that I think in general you don't want to do it. Like you can already just base by a longsword and you're fine. I mean, overall I think kha'zix should be like pretty OP in this fight. Just as Merc treads as well. It's kind of a tank. Good flash from Lehens. Just needs to get an ult off. He gets his ult off. It should be a hard win for KT. They're focusing different targets though. It's a little weird. Oh, he jumps over it. Oh, BDD flashed over it. Carry is dead too. Faker will die afterwards as well. Whole game is fucked. Ah, okay. Carry is stalling some time here. Maybe he saves Faker with this. Okay. Faker lives now. Oh, does he live? Damn, Carry. Okay. I mean, they just don't get the combo onto the hands. Like, it just didn't look like they were synced with this. Oh, Faker just has no flash. He's just dead. And we are in the fucking replay, so we don't know what ended up happening. Can't wait to buy you your first T1 Worlds jersey. Hell no, I'm not buying a T1 Worlds jersey. What the fuck? Oh, Faker, he's trying to shuffle Rel. Rel has R. This is really risky. Kha'Zix ended up getting his W off, gets the shield. Okay, good ulti from Keen. Yeah, Faker really overforced this. And then Triss can just move top, which is like a lane setup that they're fine with already. So Jax will need to TP top, or maybe he just drops the turret. Maybe he just drops the turret. But Drake's in 2 minutes, and Triss can essentially push and move whenever. I mean, here at least, Zeus should have his Divine Thunder, 130 CS and a kill, and plate. Yeah, it's Divine Thunder. Okay.
I mean, if they're going for a
hey, good Everfrost. Knows he has no flash. Guma's getting caught so often. Third Drake. I mean, this should be all KT's. KT's got 5k gold lead at 18 minutes. They're just way too strong. And also, kha'zix will be way more useful than Jax in this fight. So many tools for Jax, right? You have like Nautilus Ult, you have Buster Shot that's annoying for Jax. You know, Everfrost, kha'zix E. It's just so difficult.
Supporting Guma when we picked him mid.
Good catch. I mean, you lose the Drake, but I mean, this is a good catch. You get a shutdown. Probably the best thing you could do.
As KT rolls through here.
That's just like a second Herald will actually do work in a game like this. When you're this far ahead, a second Herald could like literally just allow you to just end the whole game. All right, so good pick. So they get control of topside jungle, they pick off the enemy jungler, and then they get free Baron afterwards. Super standard.
Will get some bounty gold here. It does have teleport. He's going to use it.
Well, teleport is going to come in. Okay, there's the quickness into the backline. Empress Divide finds many as Kane's
shouldn't be possible to win. KT doesn't need to fight. They should just be looking to run.
1 versus 3 is what it feels like. Now he's going to be able to skate his
that's
way
good.
out. KT lose no one. Get a
I mean, T1 tried their best, but they're just down their jungler, so they can never win the smite fight, and KT is just stronger, so they're able to survive.
It's too high here for KT.
Yeah, these now
nothing
soul on the table for KT. They have so much more money. Zeus does have a flank angle, but let's see whether the smite is going to be good. It's a Narnian glacial prison, but can they actually win the team fight? There's the Magnet Storm. T1 looking for a
decent position, but BDD has stopwatch. All right, they're going to try to go after the stopwatch, but aiming will just be able to carry, right? I mean, Zeus has a stopwatch, which is good. Everyone is dead, though. Is that it? They can just end mid? We're trying to end mid. That should be it. 12 on Guma, 1 on Owner. Yeah, it should be. It's gone.
Yeah, I don't know whether
GG.
they'll be able to stop this great little stun from Kha'Zix as well as Keen is just belly bopping this Nexus. A few more kills to pad the stats. Aiming grabs himself a double.
Okay, stat padding. Yeah, pretty straightforward game 1. pretty much a stomp. So blue side wins the first game. KT had side selection. Now T1 goes blue. See what the Tristana prio will be. First pick Nico. That's crazy prio, but it makes sense for Faker. Like, that is more of a Faker champ than Azir, Jace, Tristana at this point in his career. He's more of the playmaking guy than the guy that's going to be like lane dominant or just play like super standard. I mean, here's like the thing is, when you draft Nico like this, you can just end up running into like Maokai Trist or Maokai Jace, and I think Maokai's pretty good at just stopping Nico from doing what she wants. But then again, Nico can like block Maokai R with W, so there is some counterplay on the Nico side. I just think thematically Maokai's pretty good, and the Jace lane is hard versus Nico, but a lot of players will just play it because when you're just poking at Nico later on, it becomes easier. Sejuani. So Sejuani seems like insane prio right now. Oh, is this the Rumble game that Yamato talked about? The Rumble angle? Yeah, I just don't know why when you see Nico, I don't know why you go Sejuani Renekton. Like, I'm fine with Sejuani Renekton in certain circumstances, but when you see you're playing into a Nico, why would you just choose to like just both teams run into each other here when you could actually gain some type of like strategic edge in 1-2 for red? I don't think it's great. So the reason they're going Nautilus is they think that KT has to draft a mid laner on 3, like one of like Jace or Trist or something like that, or they're assuming this, or like if they want Azir, maybe Azir. They think that KT has to draft a mid laner on 3, so they can't go Braum on 3, because Braum would be good into like double engage. Nocturne. Nocturne's so weird here though. Like the thing about Nocturne, so Nocturne Nico's kind of a thing. It's like a poor man's version of Nocturne Kennen from last year. I just think that it's very weird to draft Nocturne when you don't know what you're playing into, because if they go LeBlanc here, mobility mid, and then they go a mobility 80 carry, like aiming is somebody who likes playing Ezreal, for example, they go mobility 80 carry, then even if you have like your Nico engage, like then your Nocturne loses so much value. Essentially, it becomes only able to disguise the Nico, as opposed to having, you know, like just being a Nocturne within the game, having threat, and then also being able to disguise the Nico. Azir, I mean, Azir is fine. Like disengage, a little bit of disengage into it. I mean, T1 should ban Braum here, I think. Rakan, I don't understand Rakan. You're banning Rakan when you already have Nautilus. Like, you want them to play Rakan, don't you? You want them to play Rakan and have to like face off against you guys and like complete full-on engaged 5v5s? And you get a good lane then? I think Braum is the ban here. They ban Ezreal because they want to deny. Like, I would be fine with Ezreal Braum. I just don't see why you ban Rakan. The Ezreal ban is because you want Nocturne Nico to have more value, and they have more value when the enemy team doesn't have mobility. Leona, I mean, this doesn't make any sense. Like, KT just chose to, I don't know. T1 showed their whole hand, and KT didn't choose to do anything about it. They said, fuck it, bro. Let's ball, bro. Let's go straight 5v5, run at each other. We'll just fucking do a pissing contest. Whoever has the biggest dick wins. Also, I don't know about Renekton's value. Like, I don't think Renekton is that giga OP. If enemy team could play Rumble and stuff.
See it being a close one, just because of how these comps operate against each other. Is level 1.
Oh, Lehens just misses. Oh no, it's a tragedy. Aiming's just dead. Yeah, GG. All right, this is where you remake in scrims. Honestly, I don't even know if Lehens hit this. Like, even if Lehens hits this, is this even good?
Just because of how these comps operate against each other. Is level 1.
Like, there's no way you win this. When you're Hail of Blades Varus, he has lethal tempo. Like, I don't even think you could go for a short trade.
Yeah.
Like, aiming just has to flash. Even if this E lands, aiming would just have to flash, I think.
Pretty volatile as Hook is going to land max.
Like, he's just going to get fucked.
He's going to miss. Aiming's flashing away, though, as Gumayushi's flashing after him. There's an early cash.
Oh, no.
And you asking when we were going to know. I don't
That's
know whether we
just
know exactly
game losing, practically game losing.
As far as against range to hit somebody, he will. And now a flash is burned here. Strong.
And I like that Zeus played Ignite in this matchup. I think it's so much better to play Ignite into a Renekton matchup than TP. Zeus is so far up. Could probably get a flash. I mean, you can't kill if Zeus early flashes, probably. Unless Kha'Zix does like a Q flash predict or something. I think that was an angle. Maybe they didn't do it because they thought that Owner... Well, I mean, I don't know. They couldn't even think that Owner's going to be there. Oh, Kha'Zix is just dead. But then, like, so Kha'Zix took blue, and then his top laner's in base, and then he contests the crab, and he gets hit by Nocturne Q. Yeah, because that's mega int, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Nope. That's not it. That's my solo queue jungler. That's the all-pro first team jungler, because Lehens, brother.
Whoa, that's a flash forward as
Lehens, this is so Lehens, bro.
does come through. Fair bit of value there as once again.
You should be so scared to invade anyway, especially like invading with your Q like that, as Sejuani did.
Just such pain As the hook is
Oh,
going
Carrier. Carrier?
Not sure about that one.
Carrier?
Ignite is going to tick down. There's the permafrost. He does get within turret.
Okay.
Ryushi taking a lot of damage. Just piercing out.
Oh my god.
Still gonna be all right.
Oh my god, the minion brought him to like 7 HP. Jesus, that was a clencher. It's good. It was good for from Guma opening up on Varus, stopping Carrier from dying. But there's no reason I think for Nautilus to hook back in.
Faker is in a lot of trouble, but Kane is also in a ridiculous
Yeah, game's over. I mean, there's nothing to see here, bro. It's like 2.3k gold lead at 5 minutes and 30 seconds. How fucked is it? How fucked is the game off this? No TP on Renekton.
But still, look at that minion wave.
And Faker was 1 HP mid, and he lives.
He's done.
Dude, I literally just want to go next. Is there anything? All right, let's just skip to like things that might be useful. I don't think there's a point of like sitting in this game and watching Keen go down. I mean, it's 70 CS to 20, and then they dive him on the big wave crash.
And there's the paranoia. He dives forward. He's trying to get the stuns in.
Yeah. Let's go next, boys. We'll do a really quick brush through this, see if there's anything.
Really risky.
I guess it's just too tanky at this point.
Yeah, they do manage to find the glacial prison.
Overheat W.
This time, and Zeus could be going down. He has the ignite. It's ticking.
Okay.
Done though. Zeus is still.
I mean, that felt like a desperation play.
And BDD's gonna.
And then we just all die, trying to get something done here on the other side.
As Lahen's not having a great time, cuz getting low as Faker moves.
All right, it's over. I mean, bot like the problem is, bot fucked up, died 2v2 at level 1, and then Sejuani into top lane as well. So like BDD doesn't get to play in this game because he's playing a losing lane. He's playing a losing lane early. And he's farming evenly, which should be his objective, but both side lanes are on fire, and his jungler can't do anything in the game. Go next.
Blossom finds two, and Zeus is gonna find the harpoon. He still has basically 0 health. Faker's gonna flash away.
I mean, they got Carrier. It doesn't mean anything. He saved his W for the movement speed here. Pretty good. And he ignites for Nimbus Cloak. Yeah, it's actually really good. I mean, he played it really well. So one mistake that a lot of Rumble players will make is they'll W when things are about to hit them. And like here, obviously into Renekton, you get shield broke. But on top of that, part of the Rumble W is the movement speed component of it. And if you do it while you're CC'd, then you're only getting the HP value. You're not getting the movement speed value. So he knows he's going to survive the initial burst. And then once he's actually done with all the CC, he ignites for Nimbus Cloak and then W's as well overheated in order to get the maximum amount of movement speed to survive the situation. And like, you know, it ends up being a 1 auto difference. They just end up having to give this Drake, I assume. I mean, you don't want to fight at this point. Dude, I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of this Trinity Force. I know everyone goes the Trinity Force Draven build, but I just feel like when I see Trinity Force Draven, it just doesn't do enough damage. But I mean, obviously the tankiness is nice. Like, he doesn't even have the items yet, but it just feels like he's not doing any damage. Okay. Speedrun it? Okay, we speedrun. See? Oh, okay. Maybe this is a comeback play. Guma used flash in the last fight. I mean, this is the best play they can make. Owner ulted in into 5. Okay, he inted as well. That's so hard for Varus to play. Varus has a stopwatch because he's playing into Nocturne, obviously. And he's playing into Rumble, Nocturne, Nico. He has a stopwatch and he has a Duskblade. It's like so hard for him to play, man. Okay, so KT is giving this Drake because they're 6k gold down. Makes sense. So pretty much T1 can just start Baron on spawn. Okay, what's happening here? They end up killing Keen for getting the tier 1. At least he died at a time where nothing is up.
Goodness, that is absurd. It's okay.
Faker got hit by it even though he tried to proto belt. It dies on the bot side. Ends up being, yeah, I mean, it's a 1-for-1 cross map. What was the setup here? So T1 starts the Baron, baits them in. They walk here, splits them with Nocturne ult. Good combo. Nautilus ults on top of BDD. And then Faker can flash forward knowing that BDD is CC'd by the ult. There's no way they can answer. I mean, they might get a couple kills back, but they should just lose. I mean, they save the Baron here. They don't lose Baron at least. Ends up being 2 for 2. Okay. End up fighting over mid though. They get 2 stopwatches. even if Faker dies, I mean, I don't even think that T1 need to force anymore. Like, they could just live with that, and it's completely good. Good peel.
She's free hitting, it's a triple kill, and BDD is burning.
All right, free Baron. No way they can answer no TP on BDD. He gets Sterak's off this, or he should probably get Sterak's off this. Ult, okay, Faker gets a good flash here. Yeah, I mean, it's just unplayable for Varus once he loses the stopwatch. Can't play the game. GG. All right, game number 3. So KT won blue side again. I think that Renekton Prio should drop in the series so far. I think both top laners should drop the Prio on it. Not a huge fan of like the Renekton 1-2s. All right, once again, Tristana is up for KT. I think this should be a BDD Tristana game. So he's going to Nico. So Nico is like crazy Prio in LCK. This is like really surprising because historically, you would think these types of teams, Korean teams, would favor the stability of like Jace, Tristana over things like the Nico. Nico seems like more of like an LPL style champ, but seems like LCK has way higher prio on Nico. Alistar Maokai 1-2. Alistar first pick. That's crazy. So they don't care about like Alistar counter picks. So something like Braum is what you'd normally see into Alistar. Or teams would just draft Rakan and say, fuck it, let's play this anyway. Ezreal early pick, bro. What are these champion prios? Crazy champion prios right now. Nocturne. Dude, I don't know what's going on here. Like, this is completely mental. Nico first pick into Ezreal Nocturne. I don't even know why you're taking the Ezreal. I assume that you take the Ezreal here. I mean, obviously aiming plays a lot of Ezreal, right? Like, Ezreal Karma was something that KT's played a ton. So he's a good Ezreal player. But if I can think of another reason why you draft Ezreal here, I would assume that reason is because you have Nocturne Nico and you don't want them to get Ezreal. Wait, Leona is banned when you have Alistar. That's really interesting. Because normally you'll see Leona, like Alistar being a counter pick to Leona, or like being picked into Leona. Like normally Alistar doesn't care about Leona that much. But I think they're just trying to ban engage supports. And Nautilus and Rakan are already, yeah, they already decided to ban both. So they're trying to just ban all the engage supports. The problem here is that if you don't draft Rel, which you can't draft Rel, they just get a free Rel. That's the problem. Milio would make no sense with this. You're playing Nocturne Nico, don't draft Milio. Jax, it's definitely a keen champion, the Jax. It was getting banned in a lot of the series I was watching. Galio. I don't know, bro. I think I would prefer Rel. The thing about Galio is it's like delayed follow-up on engage. So like Nocturne Galio is a thing people played, or like Nico Galio can be played. I just think that it's not that reliable. Enemy team can still disengage into what you have. I don't think you should draft Fiora here. Honestly, yeah, why not just go back to Rumble? Actually, no. I mean, I guess the reason why he decides not to go back to Rumble is he thinks it's too much magic damage. You're kind of in a bad spot for Zeus because the only AD champion you'd want to go here would be like Poppy into the Jax. Then the other answers to Jax are Rumble and Gragas. And both are AP, and they're not good with the rest of your team comp. So there's actually not a good pick for T1. I mean, they could go Renekton. The thing about Renekton is, in a game like this, the Renekton like doesn't necessarily hard stomp the Jax. It's somewhat of a skill matchup where Jax has abilities to win it. And if this game does go like 20-30 minutes, or like the game is close by 20-30 minutes, Jax becomes such an issue. I mean, I guess it is an ocean, so it does slow you, which is a little bit scary, but I think that's a Drake angle. All right, Zeus is going for this. I don't like this play. Yeah, that was mega int from Zeus. Only 2 will be eliminated at the first opportunity. Lehens is not level 6. This is like really hard forced. It ended up being okay. BDD has flash. Okay, good flash from BDD. Zeus gets Cuz. I mean, this was like really crazy. Let me look at this again.
There's a bit of a clock ticking here.
Damn.
I think T1 should feel comfortable holding on.
Faker just doing a fair bit of damage, but there is.
That's like, I mean, it's a good snap engage. The thing is, when you do that like quick W taunt, it just doesn't last for that amount of time, like a long amount of time. Outplayable. Yeah, and they're just, I mean, both people are just out. I mean, I guess it's harder for T1 to leave, but let's see what King can do. Oh, good from Zeus. Wow, Zeus smurfed this. Yeah, because Keen jumps on him, leap strikes on him, and then he E's. And then while Galio's taunting, he W's forward, kills him, and then flashes. That was really well played by Zeus. Zeus is kind of 1v9 this series. Kind of 1v9ing and everyone on T1 gets out. It's a big win. I don't know, bro. I hate this this Galio champ. Why is this not a rel, bro? Why is this a Galio and not a rel? Why is it not a rel, man? Like, for example, like, Wolf made a mistake here, but that's a minor mistake compared to like when I misremembered a matchup and had like 8,000 upvote Reddit thread. A much worse mistake. Okay, aiming finishes him off, getting some Galio value here. Okay, but oh no, aiming. So aiming had to flash forward to finish off Guma. Oh, it's tough. It's really tough. And then he gets headbutted into turret and he's just dead. And then Lehens will just die as well, right? Zeus is behind and Kha'Zix will die. Yeah, everyone's dead.
So congratulations, KT. You managed to kill Gumayushi.
And Keen had nowhere to TP, really. He could have TP'd. He just doesn't think... there's a chance that it doesn't change anything. Kha'Zix is dead. Lehens might just be dead as well. He doesn't have that much damage. He has Divine Sunderer, but Owner doesn't even need to be part of the play. It's probably better for him to not TP. Like, his team just griefed. Yeah, so Missing is the only one that's signed through next year. But either way, like, I think that, you know, if the team wants to play together and JDG wants to invest, if they do the golden road, something that's never been done before, I feel like that's like legacy building, you know? Like, winning is pretty fucking fun when you compete. Winning Worlds, like, if you win MSI and Worlds and both LPLs in the same year, you might as well keep it moving. Aiming can't even poke. See, this is the problem with Ezreal into Cassante. This is what I hate about Ezreal, is if you early pick it and they draft a tank top, like Orin, it's the same exact concept. If the enemy top laner gets a playable tank matchup top and you draft Ezreal into it, the Ezreal can never break this fucking tank. It never can break it. And this can be masked by other things. So if you have like an Azir on your team, for example, and you have consistent damage coming from your mid laner, then it can be okay that you can't kill the tanks, but a lot of times it's just still a massive issue. Stop watch at the start. Yeah, I mean, he just like probably misclicked. It's fine though. Okay, this is like mega desperation. You don't even win this, by the way. Well played by Zeus. Kha'Zix is so desperate. Are you desperate? Yeah, he's desperate. They're playing topside here, so they don't care about the Drake. They're just going to play for the tier 2. Because they have Baron. They only have 20 seconds on the Baron. I mean, BDD goes for this. There is no one close to him. What the fuck did BDD just do? There is no one close to him. His team is behind the tier 2. Dude, even if that hits Guma, you're still so dead. Wow, that was really in from BDD. So they start Baron. Zeus is just... Oh, Kha'Zix is just trying to set up the Galio ult and he insta-dies for it. I mean, they're going on to FAKER. FAKER has no stopwatch anymore. Oh, no, he still does have stopwatch. Never mind. Yeah, it's fucking lost. Keen fucked up his flash QE, but should still kill FAKER. Either way, T1 just wins hard. Do you see how unkillable Zeus was this fight? All right, so now that we watched the backside of the fight, just watch what Zeus does here. This will show you why I really hate drafting Nico Ezreal when tanks are open on the same team. Just watch Zeus in this fight.
As Kha'Zix dives in, he'll deliver a gargoyle as well as Keen wants to find a counter-strike. They get into the back line as FAKER takes a fair
watch Zeus.
He then dives forward. Gumayushi gets a double, and KT are too busy trying to deal with Zeus to be able to do anything about it. And Zeus might die.
Do you see? See what I'm talking about? That's why I fucking hate it right there. He's unkillable. He's literally just unkillable when you draft Ezreal as your like 80 carry, and then you draft an engage mid laner. I mean, it's even more extreme with Nico than Annie, for example. Like, Annie with Leandres, you drop Timbers on him, maybe you can actually kill him there or something. Game is a wrap. Don't think they end here. They don't end here, but...
This is not close. It's not close at all.
Well, it's not. There is still more to play.
Oh, maybe they end. FAKER has TP, and they, like, if somebody dies here, maybe they can end. No, they can't. Desperation TP from blue side. Let's see the desperation TP.
Looking for that angle if he can find it. As there he goes, headbutt just to get rid of him. Carrier is going to go golden, and Taunt does come through onto Zeus, but he's so tanky. And the wallets are starting to really get heavy in this
Well,
one.
if you do this, then they can end.
Oh my goodness, a passive getting him all of his health back.
Massive desperation. They still end, right? They should still be able to end. Double cannon. Maybe they can end.
Showing up tonight. He is absolutely
They have to go mid.
form right now. He's cut Anathema's chain.
Whatever. I mean, either way, the game is over. Like, worst comes to worst, you just base and you go
The
soul.
road to victory over D+ with having
We're in a replay when they're potentially getting soul. It's a little weird.
by a and beating behind.
That man just
Okay, and then T1 just has spawn, or has soul when you spawn back into the game. Like, what the fuck? They got soul on spawn. What the hell? That's so weird, the timing of the replay. Like,
does pretty crazy things. This was,
they showed like a 3-minute replay when it looks like KT's going to be like chasing T1 to the soul. And then it's like you just come back and you're like, well, shit, I guess like they just got it.
The replays is we've got a
Never mind.
flanking teleport here from Keen. One last ditch effort here for KT as they look to defend their last remaining Nexus turret. Keen's walking in. They're looking to get on top of Gumayushi as the Emperor's Divide is fantastic. That's going to keep them away from the President. Land's going to be taken down here as once again, Carrier playing bouncer. Zeus doing the same thing. The Q3 is going to be fantastic. Faker picking up a bunch of kills. And yeah, Keen, you've got a really cool counter-strike, but I don't think he's going to be saving this game, aiming back onto the fountain.
Yeah, it's unplayable.
Going to lock down that kill, and T1.
I mean, I guess like the idea is that if Keen gets really strong in this game, and I guess his lane could be easy in theory, then maybe he can kind of do the same thing that Zeus is doing in the team fights, where he's just taking on so much aggro. He's just like 1v3 in that backline. I just don't think it's realistic, man. That's my problem, is that I don't think it's like a realistic draft. It gives you like a huge potential problem with your draft when you draft pretty much a as far as like AD carries and mid laners are concerned, a no damage mid laner and a no damage AD carry. I think it's the same problem with Zeri, for example. Like Zeri nowadays, obviously you can kite the tank forever, so you'll like eventually kill him, where Ezreal can kind of just never kill him. But I think the same thing applies to Zeri, where like these tanks like Ornn, Cassante, they get so tanky that you spend so much time trying to kill them that your whole team's dead by the time you actually get it done. Back on blue side, so they've chosen, so every team has chosen blue side every single time they've had side select. Xayah, Kai'Sa, Zeri all banned from T1. KT banned the Nocturne because they don't want to play Nocturne Nico themselves. They don't want to first pick the Nico anymore. And they view this as like what the combo is. So they'll play into Nico, but they don't want to play into Nocturne Nico or play it themselves. Just on a first pick, okay. Nice. All right. Yeah, Alistar Prio is insane. You'd expect this to be Sejuani. Oh, it's Nico this early. So you could get Nico later in the draft, and I don't think KT would want to play it again and send the Tristana bot. They go Nico here. I thought that the Sejuani Prio would be really high again. Rel? I mean, if you go Rel, normally you don't go Rel and Sejuani in the same phase, because if you go Rel Sejuani in the same phase, removes the ability to flex the Rel to jungle. It means that it's just support Rel. Becomes less good. And T1 get their Aatrox. They get Zeus's Aatrox. The Duskblade Connoisseur. I think Sejuani Prio, like, I don't know what happened to Sejuani Prio. It was Prio'd so high earlier. But yeah, this is a matchup that has generally always been Renekton favored. People like Renekton into Aatrox. We've seen some people picking Aatrox into Renekton. I can't imagine that it's that good, but I will see how it goes nowadays. Yeah, Samira coming out from Guma is pretty hype. I don't think it's that easy to play Samira in this game, though. Like, you think about all the enemy team CC. I mean, you have like Tristana ult, which is annoying for you. You have Nautilus ult, which is annoying for you. It's not super easy to play Samira. It's just there's a lot of stuff that can cancel you. He'll get this wave crash. I assume that he'll go for a proxy here. I mean, he has TP. I mean, I assume he'll just go for a proxy in this situation. All right. Nice. Oh, maybe they go for a dive.
Because he's just ejected from the whole situation.
Zeus is level 6. Yeah, I mean, they can go for the dive if BDD was getting up here. I mean, the reason why I thought that he was going to go for proxy is I didn't think that he would be able to... I didn't think BDD would move to this. Nice. Clean. See how this Herald fight plays out.
For the Varus. So, aiming's going to
Guma might have to... he could maybe 1v2 it, actually. Level 6. I don't know why Keen did all this. So he wanted to get deep wards, but... I mean, he wanted to get deep wards, but he saw him on it, right? Yeah, no, this is weird. Because Keen literally sees
time.
When he places this ward over the wall, he literally sees that Viego is on the Crud camp, and he could just E over the Herald wall and walk back to lane safely, but he tries to go through Tribush, and that's why he dies.
Oh, did get that early call.
Like, he's got no one on the side of the map with him. I mean, we'll see how it plays out, but dying right next to the Herald when you're playing Renekton, like, this is one of the biggest parts of picking Renekton, is that you're really OP in the Herald fights, so you can pick Renekton and play towards this condition.
That is not going to get them anywhere near this.
It looks like they'll still... Can they still contest this? I think they can contest this. It ended up not being terrible. Well, like, did T1 greed? Actually, let's see. They should be able to just do Rift Herald. Aatrox crashes top wave and just moves over, and they should just hit the Herald. What actually ends up happening here? How do they lose it? It's because they try to turn and kill the Rel instead of just...
But they did not have
finishing the Drake
whatsoever,
or finishing the Herald. I mean,
another planet behind enemy lines. Yeah, exactly. BDD's gonna move in. Does get.
I mean, it doesn't even do any. Like, even if you kill him there, like, you've wasted so much that Renekton will be here and enemy support will be there as well. Might just lose the fight. That was a really, really bad turn from T1. They essentially lost Herald off the turn.
As he moves on in, aiming, does get that control ward into this pit. Piercing arrow going to be available. Let's see whether he can get any good damages. Yeah, Ona gonna get taken down. But
I mean, they're investing so much onto this Rel, bro.
Still, you can see that aiming is free, hitting carry.
Oh my god, dude! They just sent it completely on the Rel and just like lost everything for it.
Another Cloud Soul, and now FAKER is running for potential safety, but aiming just greets him and says,
"Oh man, they really gave everything for this Rel." I want to see Rel's items going, dude. This Rel is so tanky. Giant Spelt, cloth armor, no magic mantle, tabbies. He's so insanely tanky.
Control ward into this pit.
Dude, this is so disrespectful, man. Like, you can't engage like this onto a Rel. There's a reason this champion is broken, man.
Taken down, but that's a big
proc his aftershock too.
Still, you can see that aiming is free, hitting carrier dives on top of him, and Gumayushi.
I mean, this is a 4v5. That's why they send it like this. The whole idea is they're so concerned with the fact that, like, they have TP advantage, so they're like, oh, any fight's good. You know, like, we just want to get a fight started because it's a 5v4, so anything's good. But this fight is never good in this position. But I forgot that I streamed on Tuesday. I thought I hadn't streamed in like a week. But I streamed on Tuesday. I did a talk show on Wednesday. I did another talk show on Tuesday. And then Monday was the only day I didn't do anything because I was just sick. I sent the Herald down mid. They currently don't know where, or they're pinging on the Aatrox right now. They think that he's above them. I mean, Lahen's just hooks FAKER so he can't, like, flash into the whole team and get a multi-man ult. Kha'Zix was also in, like, a pretty weird spot. Where's Kha'Zix at the beginning of this? He gets headbutted out, but he's playing for, like, the Drake steal instead of, like, the fight. I think it's not that good. And his stun, like, the whole Rel combo is terrible here. Look at the Rel combo. Watch what Rel does here. He RWs, and he essentially only hits Alistar. Like, FAKER is just able to stopwatch. And Alistar with ult on. Whereas, like, he should be saving, like, the thing is also, Nico doesn't matter anymore because Nico had just ulted. So he should be saving his ult for, like, Guma. When Guma tries to go in or something like that. He doesn't need to, like, WR here. He can just, like, sit with his team, play around his carries. They end up getting Drake.
By KT, but now T1 are closing in. They've lost no one just yet. And I think we may have called this one.
Keen can turn. Oh, he gets his seed there. BDD's back.
BDD dives in, but it's another S-rank picked up. And BDD is out of there. It's like, I guess
wow,
this team
T1 just outplayed. Yeah, they had pretty good position with the Aatrox flanking behind. It looks like a replay of the last fight. It literally looks like a replay.
In the back of the pit, carry it. Get hooked by Lahen's. They want that head.
This time though, they're hugging the bot side with both their carries, and they're more aware of the flank, which is FAKER in this situation. Literally looks like a replay though. Oh, big.
Before they go for any sort of engage, as FAKER looking for an angle.
I mean, this is what FAKER brings to the team, right? They needed somebody to pull the trigger. The problem here is that the Renekton is just getting so much value.
Any sort of engage. As FAKER looking for an
Like, look at the Renekton value here.
They dive into the back line of
E, Q, Goredrigger, E again. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. This guy just killed everyone.
Who's the one that's saying, "Remember me"?
Dude, the Renekton value was so crazy in that fight. He did 4K damage. And he did most of that in like a third of a second, you know? Maybe not a third. It was like, maybe it was like,
Oh man, the big
it was like
wallet on that
3/4 of a second. But I mean, you get the point.
They give the kill over to aiming. It looks like Owner
Damn,
is gonna be
Renekton
able
looking
to
weak.
dodge. Is super big here, and of course with the empowered E, he's gonna rip through those health bars insanely heavily. Actually uses the Q there as well to get a massive heal. And over here, Keria looks like he's dead.
Yeah,
Not even just the heal. The damage was insane from the Q there.
My goodness.
And then Keria just gets picked without ult. It's fucking Jover, boys. Okay, just 1v5 is Renekton. Hey, if you're playing versus 5 close range champions, you can 1v5 as Renekton. True.
Then everyone dies to the blender that is Keen. See whether they can figure
They're looking for the
it out
turn
yet
onto
again.
Owner.
Now, Cuz looking for even more.
They like turned everyone off this. This is not great from KT. I don't like this. Like they didn't. They went over. Like look at where Cuz does this, dude. This is the reason why I don't believe in Cuz, man. Like just these types of. There's so many just like weird plays that he does. I understand what he's going for here. Like he wants to go on the enemy jungler when he comes into range. But like Cuz is the jungler, right? Like he wants to make sure that if he sends it at a time where they're guaranteeing a kill. But he just sends it with like WR over the wall. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I guess they could try to restart it. They got Owner's ult. It's just weird. Like they could have like done this at a time where it makes more sense, where they can actually kill Owner or something.
Can he get in there? I don't think he's going to be able to, but can they actually win a fight afterwards? It's not a great pop blossom as now Zeus.
I mean, it's so mega winning is the thing. Like, I remember when I remember this part of the game. I was watching this live and I thought that Samira was going to pentakill them.
It's still BDD getting a kill up to the back end, and Zeus somehow falls down.
Yeah, Keen is killable, I think.
Remember, this is an attack speed variety of the Varus, and he's kiting beautifully.
Attack speed variety of the Varus. And the thing that I didn't like about the whole Paze thing is like Paze was the front runner for MVP, right? Like Paze was considered like he was going to win the MVP if Genji dumpstered KT, right? When they played each other in regular season, like in one of the final weeks. Paze was the front runner for MVP of the entire league. And then they lose one series, and then he's not even like first team All-Pro anymore. He's second team All-Pro. That seems like way too big of like a drop-off. If he was that good, if you're giving him that much credit up until one best of 5, like one best of 5 doesn't change everything. But yeah.
Instead, BDD in great position as Keen is going to flash on top of Gumayushi. He's going to try and get out of there. The pop blossom.
Yeah, I mean, Keen's just making it unplayable. Like he's just marking the Samira in the fights, and Samira can't play. I mean, Keen is doing so much damage in every fight. His ult is getting so much value.
As you say, it's going to 5 again, back to back. These
games are not super close so far. Okay, so T1 after game 1 has just been banning Zeri every game, and then here T1 is actually banning the Alistar on blue side. Interesting. I guess R1, R2 Alistar has insane value in the series. Tristana for BDD, I like it. Maokai, I like it. Rel, Azir. Not sure if I like the Azir. Actually, I don't think I like the Azir. I mean, I guess it's fine. Your Kai'Sa has to go AD though here. It's the problem. Renekton for Keen. Rumble ban, of course. Now, here's where when I was watching the game live, I didn't understand why you ban Aatrox. Because you just won this matchup. Renekton into Aatrox, like super hard. Jax is up. And Jax is annoying when you run multiple ADs, and you've essentially committed to Tristana mid. I don't think Amy will play Tristana in this game. Like you want to send the Tristana mid. So if you're gonna draft double AD carry and Renekton, and the enemy team gets Jax, isn't that just way better than Aatrox? Okay, Leona. I'm a Leona hater, bro. I just don't like the champion. I think it's just shit. I really don't like it. Sejuani Jax. Okay. What were your other options? Rel jungle Braum. Jax. Sejuani's better, and putting the Rel bot lane because Rel is completely fine into Leona, and Braum Kai'Sa is not that strong of a lane. Generally, yeah, with Kai'Sa you just want to play with like insta CC. You don't have to hit them a bunch. I think LPL pilots Leona well. I still don't like when they play Leona. I think Leona is like just not as good as the other supports. I'd rather have Rel than Leona any day of the week. I like Rakan, I like Rel, I like Nautilus, I like Alistar, all these champions over Leona. So here, when I was looking at this game, I thought that they were going to try to use the fact that Tristana can push Azir at certain levels and look for bot dives with Maokai, Tristana, Leona, Draven. Because when you're playing like Leona, Draven into Ka'Zix, I mean, you have the ability to push on them and dive. But it didn't feel like that happened ever. Like, they never went for the dive. And especially if you look at, like, this is something that I really hate that Owner does, is Owner pass top so often. He passed top way too often when it comes to his first clear. And I think that if you're playing into a Draven, you're playing versus Draven, Leona, Maokai, and you path top here, you could just lose the entire game for it. You can just get dove, level 3, your Ka'Zix dies, Draven catches in, and suddenly your bot lane can't breathe for the rest of the game.
And now he's there with all of his teammates. And that says a lot for how that win rate has expanded.
We saw this last time.
Oh dear.
And here comes BDD.
Yeah, Owner is going to be here as well, but Counter-Strike does calm down. Kane's a little bit late to this as Kha'Zix is going to flash away. BDD's now in trouble as Ace going to flash the jump, and Owner is looking for it, but BDD
Bro, what the fuck?
Well. Do we have any flashes left available?
Huge.
The answer is no from Owner.
I mean, it ends up being good because Zeus goes for the proxy, and then after the proxy, he walks through enemy jungle, gets slowed by a sapling, and they collapse on him. I feel like Zeus has done 2 proxies that have fucked his team in this series. He's really obsessed with trying to proxy this wave on Jax for Sheen. He really wants the Sheen base, but it's low-key like fucking the game when he's doing it.
Position as well. Voidseeker finds Cuz, but not Lehens.
The Renekton pressure point allows him to delay. Oh,
Faker could be in a lot of trouble. There's the flash.
Damn, BDD solo killing him in game 5. Damn. Big from BDD. The days of Nocturne being like a carry jungler are over. If the enemy team has a mobile mid, a mobile AD carry, it has more value. It's one of the conditions that you'd prefer. But overall, like, I don't like the champion. I think it's just weak. Yeah. It's being a free kill here. Must feel so good to like solo kill Faker, even if Faker is like not Faker anymore. It's still gotta feel so good to kill him. This solo kill just dry as fuck. I don't know, bro. Our Draven has Triforce tabbies. It feels like he does no damage. Big. I mean, the thing is, Keen is just getting bullied for free.
Just about picture perfectly, but still it's not going to be enough.
I mean,
as he's taken down
Keen is dying. I mean, I guess you're getting bot turret here, but this feels really bad. And this is the Herald that will decide it all. Draven's here. I mean, he doesn't look that strong. The Jax looks like pretty fucking OP here. Decent amount of resist. Like, I mean, he's just tanky. And he has damage. He's chilling.
If they can get a cash in for aiming. Yeah, they're doing their homework, trying to make sure that they can get rid of the Jax if he does come in. Nature's Grasp to come down. Shelly is going to get stolen by him.
So I don't like this, man. I really don't like this W in from Cuz, and I don't like Keen posturing up like this. Like, even though this Sejuani gets rooted, Aiming and BDD do not want to have to move up here. There's a Jax that's above them, that's flanking them, and Azir's on the bot side. So if they all funnel in, it makes them super susceptible to an Azir like Shurima shuffle and a Jax jumping on the backline and getting a multi-man stun. So I really didn't like seeing Cuz W the Sejuani here. Because if you look at where he W's the Sejuani, he's getting hit for free. And the only 2 people that can hit the Sejuani are Renekton and Maokai. The Renekton and Maokai. Now, BDD ends up playing this really well. I've seen this before. Like, BDD played it really well. I don't think it's a good W regardless. The distance is way too far. If you look at like the breakdown of the team fight, it's too dangerous for KT to walk up, which essentially just means that like T1 plays with like all the cards here.
Stolen by Owner actually, and he collects the eye as BDD.
Like, this is really insane from BDD. He jumps in, gets damage onto Owner, and then he positions it away where Jax jumps on him and he instant buster shots him into the front line. Now, it ends up being kind of bad because the stun lands onto Keen, and Keen doesn't have ult. Like, his ult is on CD for like 0.1 seconds. So that's also the thing, is like, if you think about how KT should play this, like, they want to play around their CC and their ultimates. If you're using the Maokai ult to secure the Herald, then you can't just hard force onto the Sejuani. Also, if you have your Renekton ult coming up in like 3 seconds, you should be playing around that cooldown.
Nature's Grasp to come down. Shelly is going to get stolen.
And then also, like, this can't feel good. Like, think about how many CCs you have in this fight. Like, okay, so what CCs do you have? You have Maokai ult, you have Renekton W, like you have like I'm talking about like the direct, like the point and click, like direct hard CCs. Renekton W, Maokai ult, Maokai W, Leona ult, and Leona Q. Like that's your CCs. And you just used your empowered Renekton W, your Maokai ult, and your Maokai W all on the Sejuani that no one is hitting. Look at his HP bar during the fight. Like, he just ate 3 of those CCs. Out of the 5 that we just named, he ate 3 of them, and he's at full health. It's just, it's messed up. This is really nice from BDD. But yeah, Keen still has no ult. So he just gets one shot. Oh man, it's so sad that aiming doesn't get this kill. They should have really funneled this kill. Like, I can understand if Ignite gets it, but there's no way that Kha'Zix should Q. There's no way that, or does he Q? Maybe it's just an auto, but like he should just stop and give that to aiming. It's crazy, because even though Carry and Guma are here, like Guma still has position, like when he has ult. Doesn't have it for like 10 seconds, but this Drake is pretty tanky. And they just clear the wave and they enter together. They even drop Herald. And if you look at like the position, essentially because Jax was bot, he's just getting a flank.
The Rift Herald, and now the Nature's Grasp is flying forward. Zeus looking for the angle onto aiming.
Once again, Sejuani getting so much here. So think about it. Sejuani has Sejuani passive, which gives you obviously resists, and he just used Aftershock. He just procced his Aftershock. And that's where the empowered W is going. Do you see this is an empowered W? Look at how much damage it did. Because he has Aftershock and his passive up. Feels really bad. And Keen's just dead. Like, Keen played the last 2 fights not well.
Already, the Crocodile is being taken down, but double 80 carries are wailing onto Zeus, who leap strikes his way out. The Dragon is forgotten, and now it's a 4 versus 5. And Zeus, he can go back, he can teleport back.
Zeus has TP. Amy didn't flash it, but he's like fine right now.
As the Bramble smash is good, Faker goes down.
And Amy didn't get the kill. And now the game feels giga lost. Guma just killed himself, but it's fine. He walks over, just taps BDD once. BDD just taps him back, and then Guma's just dead. Nice.
But he is going to have to vacate the area as Kha'Zix gives himself up to try and save Lehens. It's valiant, but it doesn't quite work. And BDD just teleports into the top lane. He'll try and take what he can.
Pretty much your only condition that you can win now is like Tristana complete 1v9. Because your Leona is just going to be less useful in the Rel. The Draven is already like turbo outscaled. The Renekton is really outscaled as well. So the only thing you can do is have Trist like 1v9, and it's not even that insane of a Trist game when they have Jax. But yeah, I mean, this is frustrating to watch. I mean, we can kind of like, there's not much to watch left in this game, guys. And I think that this is like now past the point where KT can do anything in the game. They're just going to slowly bleed out from here on out. And to be honest, I feel like KT is kind of susceptible to this. Like when they don't have like winning plays to make, guaranteed winning plays to make, they kind of just become TSM, do nothing and lose. So here's the play.
In a pretty good position as Kha'Zix goes in. They think they may have caught out Owner, and maybe they just have as he flashes. Tries to get out of the way. The Magnus Storm is just gorgeous. Caught out Owner, and maybe they just...
Let's see. The Draven ult here.
Goes in. They think they may have caught out Owner, and maybe they just have as he flashes.
This is good from Carrier. Carrier R here is really insane. It's kind of like lucky because Carrier is just trying to WR like into the fight, and he ends up R'ing BDD out of his jump, where like BDD would have finished Owner and then be able to fight. Also, because BDD gets R'd here, you could see that his mind gets completely fucked. Like after this, he could have like potentially like flashed up, but he just like walks into the whole enemy team and dies, you know?
He does get it, but in the meantime, it doesn't matter. Gumayushi gets a cash in of his own, and Zeus is just destroying.
Yeah, now the game is giga over. And now it's time, boys. There's like this is the last play of the game. We can watch this like highlight. This wasn't much of a highlight.
He has an incredible moment. Lehens is trying to buy Keen. He has some fancy footwork here. He has an incredible...
Dude, I don't understand how this is an incredible moment. It seems so narrative driven, like a lot of the casting. Like, saying Keen has an incredible moment, like I feel like this was the most standard Renekton play ever. Like, you can watch it.
His eclipse into stun here,
but like Keen is like the hyped guy, right?
Keen gets caught by this, but then at level
stopwatches.
Tries to make a super outplay here with aiming.
You just ease forward, flashes, and Q. Like I don't know. Like when I saw this, I was like, I was like, I mean, I guess, is that an incredible moment for Renekton? I would never think about that Renekton moment ever again. But yeah, guys, there's nothing else to watch. That is the conclusion of the VOD review. I mean, we can watch this, like, essentially they just get 3 inhibs, KT never fights, and the game is over. Incredible outplay by Keen. I mean, Keen got his ass beat over the course of the series by Zeus. I mean, the thing that, so this is the angle that no one had. KT, I think KT picking T1 is reasonable based off what T1 has shown, right? I think KT picking T1 and then making T1 play back-to-back days, I think that there's some value in that, right? On the other side of things, like, Hanwha Life has been ramping up over the course of the season. They look better than they did with Clid. So maybe you don't want to play Hanwha Life. The reason why you should not pick T1 is because you want to play T1 later on in a final, bro. T1's pretty good, bro. Zeus is good outside of the final. Just wait until Zeus gets to the final, and he'll shit the bed. That's nothing to watch, boys. This VOD review is over. The do nothing and lose, like you can see, I guess the last play was KT. They have no inhibs. They try to contest this Baron. Lehens and Kha'Zix walk in, and they die, and then the game is over. All right, boys. We VOD reviewed a T1 win all 5 games. So I'll be back tomorrow, same time, for LCS. So I'll do all of LCS.